Why is it that for a man to hit a ball over the net, that man's skin color must be white? It doesn't make sense, but that's the way it was on the tennis courts of Virginia in the 1950s and early 60s. Arthur Ashe didn't understand the question, and he refused to abide by the answer. So time after time, he smacked that ball over the net, forcing whoever was on the other side to scramble to get it. Sometimes he used power, sometimes he used a light touch, sometimes he used the right spin. Hit after hit after hit, he changed the rules. He made us realize that it didn't matter who was on the other side of the net. If a man can hit the ball, the man should be allowed to hit the ball. Australia, London, New York City, Arthur Ashe stopped becoming a black tennis player, and instead, he became a champion.
Media has made epic heroes of our athletes. The athlete who plays the game the way it should, inspires good sportsmanship, and uses his notoriety to enrich others, doesn't always get the media attention he or she deserves. Arthur Robert Ashe beat back many foes before winning the most prestigious tennis tournament in the world, Wimbledon. Long before the great moment in tennis history, Arthur Ashe plied his trade in the heat of segregation. So often throughout his youth, Ashe's brilliance on the tennis court did not win him opportunities to play on the country clubs and well-kept public courts of Richmond.
That was simply the Jim Crow South. And just like we see African Americans being prevented from sharing sidewalk spaces, not being able to shop in downtown or eat in downtown, Jim Crow extended to the sports facilities across the South, and in Richmond it extended to the tennis courts.
Yet he persevered. He used his intellect to understand the game and his athletic skill to apply it in competition until he could no longer be ignored. Against the greatest players in the world, on the grandest stages, he could not be defeated. Wimbledon, the US Open, the Australian Open.
He had to be incredibly strong to deal with a lot of that and to keep his focus and to not give up, because I think it would have been really easy for someone to run up against that type of resistance and just say, I'm black and I can't do this. They're telling me no and I can't continue. But that's not what we see with Arthur Ashe.
Instead of focusing on living a life of luxury with his success, Arthur Ashe chose a life of service. He brought worldwide attention to the sins of racial segregation known as apartheid in South Africa.
The fantastic example that Arthur Ashe will leave for us is the example of an activist athlete, someone who is not only able to excel within their particular sport, that's fantastic, but then to translate that celebrity and that attention and use it to draw other people into a battle against some great wrong in the world. And that's what Arthur Ashe will do when he begins to target South Africa, target apartheid as a system that's being wrong, and using his celebrity to bring attention to what was happening in that area of the world and work for a change.
Arthur Ashe is a true American hero.
He continued Carter G. Woodson's grand tradition of writing the truth of African American history with his brilliant 3-volume history of African American athletes.
I have known since the time of my brain operation in September 1988 that I have AIDS.
A blood transfusion following a heart attack sent HIV cells streaming into his once indomitable body. Arthur Ashe transformed his personal adversity into a platform to enlighten Americans about the realities of HIV/AIDS, and in typical style, to meet the challenge head-on. Arthur Ashe stands apart, a hero of a new age and an inspiration for the future.